Hey guys, what is going on? I hope you all are doing well today. My name is Elliot and welcome back to the Fragrance Well. Give me 1 second here, I'm just gonna check the time. Oh my gosh, it's been 10 hours and I can still smell my fragrance. That's right, today's topic is long-lasting fragrances. I myself personally am not a big performance guy. I do not put performance at the height of importance when it comes to a fragrance. That being said, I do enjoy a nice performing fragrance, so it's not like I'm against it. And I also understand that a majority of the community does care about performance. So we're gonna talk about some of them right now. All right, let's get it started. We're gonna get some of the low-hanging fruit out of the way right now. From the house of Christian Dior, this is Sauvage. Sauvage Eau de Parfum to be exact. This is the only one I own other than Elixir, and it's the only one I think is worth having personally. Yep, you know what this is all about. It's fresh, it's spicy, and it features a lot and more ambroxan. Also features notes of bergamot, lavender, Sichuan pepper, nutmeg, star anise, vanilla, and of course ambroxan. No need to talk a lot about this one. I am sure you have more than likely smelled it, and if you haven't, it is one you can easily get your nose on just in case you are new to the community. Go to any store that has fragrances. They more than likely have Sauvage, except for the discount ones. I honestly do not wear this that much anymore, but to be fair, I still like the fragrance. I still think it is a good general use fragrance, and it is no stranger to performance. It will last all day. It pretty much stays the way it is for the most part throughout the day, so it's not a very complex fragrance, but if you want performance, Sauvage will always get the job done, and that's any of them. Once again, Sauvage, any concentration, or the Elixir from Christian Dior. All right, and this next one's gonna be coming from the house of Xerjoff, one of my personal favorites in my collection. This is Naxos. Xerjoff Naxos, probably the most popular fragrance from this house. If you know anything about it, you know what you're getting with this. You're getting citrus, you're getting some lavender, you're getting tobacco, you're getting honeyed sweetness. This is just happiness in a bottle for me. Featured notes are bergamot, lemon, lavender, honey, cashmere, cinnamon, jasmine, tobacco, tonka bean, and vanilla. This fragrance is quite sweet if you're wearing it outside. You might want it to be a little bit cooler, kind of a fall time fragrance. Shares a heavy similarity to Mugler's Pure Havane, although I do think this is the superior fragrance. It did come after, to be fair, but I think they just did a better job with that type of scent profile. Definitely lasts all day, goes through a little bit of a transition throughout. The citrus is kind of toned down. The lavender is somewhat there throughout, but you definitely get more tobacco as it dries down, and it is sweet throughout the life of the fragrance. Like I said, again, this one lasts all day. Definitely a good longevity fragrance. This is Naxos once again from the house of Xerjoff. All right, and this next one is also no stranger to most in the community. You've probably heard about it. If you haven't, you've heard about it now. From Parfums de Marly, this is Leighton. Parfums de Marly's Leighton. Their take on a mass appealing fall and cool weather banger, if you will. You're gonna get a little bit of fruitiness with this. You're gonna get some aromatics. You're gonna get citrus. You're gonna get sweetness and spiciness. This one features apple, lavender, orange, bergamot, geranium, jasmine, violet, vanilla, cardamom, gaiac wood, patchouli, pink pepper, and sandalwood. Primarily spicy and sweet. Obviously the most popular fragrance from the house of Parfums de Marly. Many say it was designed with designer-like sensibilities. I can understand that, but to me it's still very niche. As I mentioned before, if you're gonna wear it in more of an outdoor setting, definitely more of a cooler weather scent, and has great long-lasting power, the subject matter of this video. Once again, this is Parfums de Marly's Leighton. All right, don't you guys worry, we got some that work well in warmer weather too, if you choose to go that route. This is Mancera's Intense Cedrat Boisé. Mancera's Intense Cedrat Boisé. With this one, you're gonna get fruitiness and some citrus, but you're also gonna get a lot of complexity coming from things like leather and oak moss and woods and things like that. Featured notes are Sicilian citrus fruits, black currant, spices, sandalwood, leathery notes, Cambodian oud, jasmine, patchouli, oak moss, ambergris, vanilla, and white musk. It's primarily a fresh fragrance, but it has quite a bit of depth with the things like the oud and the leathery notes. The oud is not super strong in this. It's more of a supporting cast kind of oud, but I love the leathery accords in this and the oak moss as well in the dry down, and just a little bit of vanilla to just give it a little bit of sweetness as well, make it a little bit more versatile and a little bit more mass appealing. Like most Mancera's, performance is not an issue with this fragrance. Once again, Intense, Cedrat Boisé. All right, moving right along. This next one's coming from the house of Prada. This is Prada Lhomme Intense. Prada Lhomme Intense. When you think about the house of Prada, you don't typically think of a long-lasting fragrance, which is why this one is included in this list. I think it's special in that regard. I know it is discontinued in the States. Can be a little difficult to find, but I do still see it pop up on sellers from every now and then. And it features one of my favorite accords, iris. Along with that iris, you're gonna get tonka bean, patchouli, and amber. You're gonna get some sweetness with this. Of course, a good amount of powderiness, and leather is not an official note or listed accord in this fragrance, but I actually get some leathery undertones in this as well. Great release from this house. You can wear this during the day, probably shines a little bit more at night. If you're gonna wear it outdoors, probably better for some cooler weather. It does have a good amount of sweetness to it. I'm gonna be honest, the first time I wore this, I didn't think it was gonna be a long-lasting fragrance, and the day just kept going on, and I just kept picking it up off my skin. So I'm like, hey, this fragrance here is a great performer. So if you're looking for something that's powdery and long-lasting, if you can find it, you know, Prada Lhomme Intense will get the job done. All right, guys, and moving on. This one also features some powderiness and some iris, but it also has lavender, and I think that's a little bit more forward than the iris. This is coming from the house of Jean Paul Gaultier. This is Lhomme Le Parfum. Jean Paul Gaultier's Lhomme Le Parfum, an absolute stunning release from this house and a great modern take on the classic Lhomme. This one features cardamom, lavender, iris, vanilla, and oriental woods. A lot of the Lhomme fragrances in general are known for having pretty good performance, aside from maybe the fresher releases. This one here is not only a good performer, but it has some serious sillage. Man, it's just such a good fragrance. I love the way that smells. I didn't really talk about sillage with the other ones. Personally, I think like projection and sillage are separate categories from performance for me. But with all that being said, I just cannot deny that this one is a room filler, because every time I spray it on a strip or just kind of spray it once in the air, it absolutely fills that room up with the smell of Lhomme Le Parfum for at least a few hours. Lhomme Le Parfum from Jean Paul Gaultier. Absolute stunning fragrance with a lot of performance. All right, and this next one is coming from the house of Arabian Oud. This is Arabian Oud's Rasala. Arabian Oud's Rasala. Beautiful bottle, beautiful fragrance. I was actually able to sample and buy this from an Arabian Oud boutique in out of Houston, Texas. And I remember the salesman telling me, once you buy it, there are no returns, so we're gonna make sure the sprayer actually works before you walk out of here. We actually opened up the packaging, took the fragrance out and tested it, and he just kind of sprayed it on my hand. Let's just say for the rest of the day, all I could smell was Rasala. This one features saffron, rose, vanilla, oud, and chocolate. This one easily encapsulates what you would expect from an Arabian style oud saffron rose fragrance. It has all those elements pretty much in the simplest form, if I'm being honest, but that added chocolate in here just adds a deliciousness, and the fragrance is no stranger to performance. This one is very much known in the community for being an all-day fragrance. So once again, from Arabian Oud, Rasala. All right, moving on. Speaking of rose and oud, I dare not forget about this fan favorite from the house of Mason Francis Kirk John. Oud Satin Mood. This is primarily the extrait de parfum version. The eau de parfum version does work as well when it comes to longevity. Lots and lots of rose, very jammy rose, also oud, and featured with spices and some sweetness from vanilla. Featured notes are Turkish damask rose, Tunisian rosa absolute, Laotian oud, vanilla, amber, cinnamon, geranium, and violet. I don't know for sure, but I would say that Oud Satin Mood is probably the second most popular fragrance from this house. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Oh man, this is a stunning fragrance. It smells so good, so elegant, so rich. I love the spicy nature of it. The sweetness is there, but it's not overbearing, and just lots of high quality, beautiful rose. And most importantly, as it pertains to the video, it will last all day. Oud Satin Mood, extrait de parfum or eau de parfum from Mason Francis Kirk John. And the next one is coming from the house of Giorgio Armani, also another good one for warmer weather if you choose so. This is Acqua di Gio Profumo. Giorgio Armani's Acqua di Gio Profumo. This one unfortunately has been discontinued as well, but they clearly made a lot of it and it's still in circulation to some degree, but it is running out, so if you want it, go ahead and grab a bottle soon. This one features aquatic notes, bergamot, spicy notes, rosemary, sage, geranium, frankincense, and patchouli. Just like most Acqua di Gio fragrances, this one is going to be fresh and aquatic, but what I love about this one, the main reason this is the only one I own, is it adds some frankincense and some patchouli to darken it up a bit, as well as add, in my opinion, a little bit more longevity to it. Gives it just a little bit of weight, and that's why I am okay with having this one, because I'm not the biggest Acqua di Gio fan actually. Great for the warmer months and the kind of earlier cool months as well, especially with the addition of that patchouli and incense. That's what makes this a little bit more versatile than the typical Acqua di Gio, which tends to lend better to the warmer months. Acqua di Gio Profumo, good long-lasting fragrance. Alright, and last but not least, we're coming from the house of Amouage, a house very well known for its performing fragrances. This is Interlude Black Iris. Amouage Interlude Black Iris. This is the flanker to the original Blue Beast, the original Interlude. Still smoky, still spicy, and definitely a long-lasting fragrance. This features rosemary, violet leaf, bergamot, orris absolute, frankincense, myrrh, amber, cistus, vanilla, cedarwood, leather, patchouli, sandalwood, and oud. Biggest difference between this one and the original Interlude Man is that infamous oregano note in the opening of the fragrance. I'm a big fan of the oregano, but I understand that they wanted to change it up a little bit. To me, I primarily get a lot of that violet leaf in the opening, and of course the addition of iris is also the biggest change. It's not a makeup-y, creamy kind of iris. Well, it's actually orris, but to me it's a little bit more buttery, kind of fresh kind of orris, not so much creamy and lipsticky. Other than that, you get the smokiness and the spiciness that Interlude is famous for. And lasts just as long as the other one, as best I can tell. I haven't done a head-to-head, but point is, it will last all day. Once again, Interlude Black Iris from Amouage. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. That was 10 fragrances that will last all day on your skin if that's what you're going for. Thank you for hanging out to the end of the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like the channel. Feel free to share the video also if you think someone else will like this content. Hope to see you in the next episode of The Fragrance Well, and have a wonderful day.